Yo guys, what is up? Max in our Wonderlands video, and today we're going over enchants. Now, there are a lot of enchants in this game. In this video, I will show you every single enchant in Wonderlands so that you can know which ones you're looking for and which ones you want to roll for, as well as which enchants aren't working like they should and which ones are actually working way better. Way better than they ever should be. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you learned anything new from it, be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, guys, let's get right into it. So we're going to start by going over the very basics of enchants, and then we will get into the more detailed things and talk about which enchants aren't working quite as intended. So to start us off, enchants are additional effects that you can roll on pieces of gear. For example, this Peg Leg of Mirth has, while action skill is active, increased frost damage by 50%. That is an additional effect that can come on your weapon. Weapons are not guaranteed to roll with enchants, and you can add enchants onto them. Now, enchants can only roll on melee weapons, guns, spells, and shields. You cannot get enchants on class mods like talismans or rings. And you can only have up to 4 enchants active at a time unless you're the spell shot. The spell shot can have 5 enchants active because you can put on 2 spells. Now, enchants can roll very differently for different classes. You are able to get any enchant on any class, and there's class-specific enchants and neutral enchants. And enchants do not stack. That is one of the biggest things that I want people to understand, is that if you have for example, if I was to equip this on-action skill start, increase gun damage by 40% on my axe, and I put an on-action skill start, increase gun damage by 40% on my spell, I would not then get 80% gun damage. If an enchant is worded the exact same as in another enchant, it will not work. You do not stack. You only get bonus from one of those. So you're going to want to have a different worded enchant on every piece of gear that you're using. Also, you do not benefit from enchants on weapons you're not holding. So for example, if I'm holding this Liquid Cooling of Impatience, I would not get the enchant on spellcast increased lightning damage from my Katambo. All right, so next up, showing on screen is all the enchants. I believe these are most of the enchants. There might be a few missing. This is over 60 enchants, and you can see which ones roll for what characters and for what piece of gear. I will have this in the description as well, so if you want to have it as like a file that you can just look at, I will also have it in the Discord there, and the full credit for this goes to BadKarma. BadKarma came up with this whole spreadsheet, so I will have his Twitter and also his Twitch channel down below if you guys want to go drop him a follow. Huge help to the community by compiling all of those enchants together. Next up, we get into the enchants that aren't working as intended. Now, I'm assuming Gearbox is going to fix this, so don't get too excited about them, but I just want to let you know because they're incredibly powerful. So, the enchants that aren't working as intended are let me move those so that we can see our target dummy, are the action skill active enchants. Any action skill active enchant, as far as I've tested, is working correctly like this. And in Borderlands 3, we referred to them as ASA annoyance, action skill active. I currently have a while action skill is active, increase frost damage by 50%. These enchants are currently defaulted to a 60-second buff duration, meaning that they do not care about if your action skill is active or not. They just give you 60% or 60 seconds of that effect. So for example, I'm not wearing any gear. I've got really no skill points besides action skill cooldown. If I shoot this dummy, I do 2,116. 2,116. And when I activate my bow skill, now I'm going to get 3,000 damage. I'm not rocking a damage anoint on my Liquid Cooling. I'm just going to be constantly benefiting now for 60 seconds of increased 3,000 damage, which is, or not increased 3,000 damage, but I went from 2,000 damage to 3,000 damage, which is insane. And this works for a ton of different enchants. So for example, the while action skill active, increase elemental damage by 35%. This one works as well. This is an extremely strong enchant because it's increasing all of your elemental damage. The increased companion damage works. I'm gonna go through every single action skill active enchant, but if it says action skill is active, it's a safe bet that it's going to give you that effect for 30 seconds. Now, what does this mean? It means that you can get away with spammy action skills like Barrage, for example, and use really strong enchants like action skill active damage increases. Action skill active are inherently more damage than on action skill start, typically because action skill active is going to be a shorter window, or you're going to have to wait a longer cooldown for action skill duration things. And the fact that you can now take advantage of them with basically literally any action skill as fast as you want is kind of crazy. Now, I do want to answer this one question because I know I'm going to get asked it. If you are playing Spell Shot and you are dual wielding spells that you have no interaction with on action skill start, action skill end, your spell cooldown is not infected by ability cooldown, they're just 2 spells. It's just as simple as that. It's just 2 spells. You have no interactions with ability cooldowns. Guys, that is going to do it for our little quick video on enchants. There are a lot of enchants in this game. I recommend mixing up your damage types, but focusing on one thing. So like increased frost damage while action skill is active. On spellcast, increased frost damage, maybe boost some gun damage, boost some critical hit things, and you can have yourself cooking up a really nice build with tons of damage very quickly. Enchants are, in my opinion, the thing that's going to separate you from struggling on the chaos levels if you don't line them up, to lining them up to cheesing basically chaos 20. They're super impactful, not nearly as impactful as they were in Borderlands 3, but you're still going to want to have them. Guys, if you learned anything from the video, be sure to drop a like on it and go show Karma some love for figuring that out, that enchant tool for all of us. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace.